Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Friday and welcome back to Storyteller's Corner. This week we're going to look at To the Manor Born and the character Audrey Fforbs-Hamilton and Richard DeVere. So the situation is this. To the Manor Born is a late 70s sitcom set in the English countryside, and it revolves around the fate of Grantley Manor and the people who are connected to it. Audrey Fforbs-Hamilton is a fresh widow. And, her husband, she wasn't overly attached to him, but she loves the state. She is fully invested in it, and the farm that it's attached to it, the heritage, the history, what it has meant for her family. And unfortunately, due to financial difficulties, Audrey is forced to sell Grantley Manor, and her long-term goal is to get it back. She literally moves to the lodge down the road so she can keep a close eye on the estate. And when I mean close eye, I mean if she steps out to the terrace just outside her living room, she's got her binoculars so she can see exactly what's going on. Then we have Richard DeVere. He is a self-made millionaire who runs a very successful grocery empire. He and his mother immigrated to the UK from Czechoslovakia in 1939 to escape the war. He has fully embraced British culture. He has actually decided to live his life and style himself as a de facto English gentleman. He buys Grantley Manor to serve as a headquarters for his business, a place to entertain business associates, but also to have the status of a landowner. It means something in that British hierarchy to be living in the historic estate, farming the land, being involved in all of that. It's about fully immersing himself in this culture that he's adopted as his own. So this comes to the power struggle between these characters. And it began with, I don't want to say ferocious, but being very determined. Both people, they had their positions very clear. They knew what it was they were, having a tug of war over. But eventually this does evolve into a more natural ebb and flow of yin and yang. And this is why I love this story, love these characters, and why I brought them up during the month of February where romance is in the air. So, as you might imagine, Audrey and Richard have different ideas about how to run and care for the estate. Audrey is rooted in tradition. She distrusts anything that's too new or too radical or too flashy. Richard is more of a forward thinker. He's all about the innovation, and he's determined to make the estate more businesslike. He doesn't see why that shouldn't be possible until, he gets a bit down the road and we're like, oh, so that's why they've been doing this and such that way. There were reasons. It wasn't just because people weren't showing any imagination. Now, even though these characters clash in every single episode, the conflict between them, it reads more like negotiation. They both care about Grantley Manor. They care about what's going on around the estate. And it becomes this metaphor for the condition of Richard and Audrey's relationship and where they are. And eventually the balance tips in the direction of this pair flowing together very, very well. And of course that it would, because they have had to learn how to cooperate with each other. Now, this isn't to say that they don't still disagree. They certainly do. But the heat of these disagreements, it's more affectionate than it is hostile. They're more so trying to get to a place where they're both satisfied with the outcome rather than, trying to destroy the enemy, if that makes sense. And of course, this makes it very obvious that they make a very good team, and you just want to see them take that final step and to get together officially. I think the underlying theme of this whole series is taking the best from the new and the old and going forward with that, with the good things. And that's one of the things I really love about To the Manor Born. It just showcases that there is value to tradition. There's value to innovation. It isn't an either-or choice, and it doesn't have to be a competition. The question is what works and what doesn't, and what approach actually solves the problem at hand. Richard's journey is about how he gradually comes to appreciate not just the view or the aesthetics of the countryside, but the values of this more rural community and everything that goes along with it, and that there are good ideas from the past that are worth preserving and bringing forward into the future. On the other hand, Audrey's lesson is to become more flexible, to become adaptive. And she discovers that this process, it isn't about forgetting who you are, what you value, or throwing your whole manner of life away. It's about learning how to evolve, how to meet new challenges, and being able to integrate some of the new in with the good of the old, and then move forward. And I think that's really what they represent as a couple, that way to move forward in life and how to do it in a stable manner. building the future on a solid foundation of what has worked in the past, making room for the new. And then you're going to create something that's going to be strong enough to last, strong enough to weather storms, and allows room to grow as you go ever forward into the future. So if you ever get a chance to check out this series, I hope you do. It's one of my personal favorites. I admit to being one of those nerds who grew up on British television, and I do like the British sense of humor. And it's just a nice, and I think a pretty wholesome story. This is a couple that you do get that slow burn. It is, you do have that tension between them, but it's not it's not coarse, it's not vulgar, it's not showing skin to show skin the way so many shows have unfortunately evolved into. You watch it for their relationship, and I think that's part of its charm. Call me old-fashioned, but I do like it. Anyway, if you'd like to, discuss your own love for British television, or you'd like to discuss the certain aspects of storytelling in a bit more detail, I hope you'll come see me at Blackbird's Brew on Discord. There's a link to join in the description box below. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.